a seat. So देने के लिए दान, लेने के लिए ज्ञान और त्यागने के लिए अभिमान सर्वश्रेष्ठ है. Thought-provoking quote embodies the theme of today's seminar, where we come together to explore the holistic development that can be achieved through the lens of universal values. As we reflect our personal and collective journey, today's discussion will guide us in integrating these values into our lives, fostering the both inner and outer growth. So, good morning, everyone. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all to the National Seminar on Holistic Development through the Lens of Universal Values, organized by UHECL. We are truly privileged to have with us today the group of distinguished scholars, professionals, and visionaries, all of whom are here to share their wisdom and insights on the topic that is timely and crucial. This seminar invites us to explore how principle of universal values can help us in holistic development in our own lives, within our communities, and on a global scale. It challenges us to move beyond personal success and align ourselves with a higher purpose grounded in the values such as integrity, compassion, and wisdom. I would like to extend the warm welcome in absentia Dr. Atul Mangal Sir, Chairman MGI, Dr. Ayush Mangal, Vice Chairman MGI, Dr. Prerna Mangal, Executive Director MGI, Dr. Ruchika Gupta, Director MIMT, Dr. Ajay Pratap Singh, IPAC Director MIMT, Dr. Richa Sharma, HOD MIMT. Of course, a special welcome to guests of honor today, Air Vice Marshal Bipin Chandra Pansar, retired IAF, along with Brigadier Ramesh Chandra, a corporate trainer and an executive, along with the eminent guests, faculty members, and dear students. So to begin with an auspicious event, I invite our guest, Air Vice Marshal Bipin Chandra Pansar and Professor Brigadier Ramesh Chandra Sir, along with Dr. Ruchika Gupta, Director MIMT, Dr. Ajay Pratap Sir for lamp lighting service. So please, also.
या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता
Now I request all the guests to kindly take their seats over the dais. Yes, after. Next in the line, as a gesture of respect and gratitude, we will now proceed with the Tulsi sapling presentation. The Tulsi plant, revered for its purity, healing properties, and spiritual significance, symbolizes the best wishes for the well-being and prosperity of the esteemed guest and other present here. To do the honors, I request Dr. Ruchika Gupta, Director MIMT, to present the Tulsi sapling to Air Vice Marshal Vipin Chandra Pansal. Please. I also request Dr. Ajay Pratap sir, IQAC Director MIMT, to present the Tulsi sapling to guest of honor Professor Brigadier Ramesh Chandra sir. Carrying forward, I request Dr. Richa Sharma, HOD MIMT, to present the Tulsi sapling to Dr. Ruchika Gupta, Director MIMT. I also request Mr. Piyush Kumar, Coordinator USP Cell, to present a Tulsi sapling to Ajay Pratap sir, IQAC Director. Now moving forward, it's my privilege to invite Dr. Ruchika Gupta, Director, Mangalway Institute of Management and Technology. Dr. Ruchika Gupta is a distinguished academician working as Director at MIMT Greater Noida with an impressive academic experience of over 2 decades. She has excelled in various roles as a teacher, trainer, mentor, and administrator. She has presented and published more than 100 research papers in the renowned national and international conferences and journals. Her work has received wide recognition, resulting in the grant of 37 copyrights and 6 patents. Moreover, she has also authored multiple case studies, books, special issues of journals with renowned publishers, actively serves as an editor, reviewer, advisory board member of the several index journals. Her remarkable achievements have garnered numerous accolades, including the Women Empowerment Award and the distinguished title of Best Professor in Information Technology. She is also certified trainer as a judge for Social Innovation Journal program by HEC, Montreal, Canada. Let's welcome Dr. Ruchika Gupta over the stage. Over to you.
A very good morning to Honorable Chairman Sir, Vice Chairman Sir, Executive Director Ma'am, distinguished guests, my dear fellow colleagues, and our dear students. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome all of you to this national seminar on holistic development through the lens of universal values. So today we gather to explore some of the most profound aspects of human growth, development, and leadership. The principles that not only shape the course of our personal lives, but also the future of our society. So I would like to extend a warm and special welcome to our esteemed guests from the armed forces. We are truly grateful for your presence today. Your leadership, discipline, and unwavering commitment to service provide us with powerful lessons in the application of universal values such as integrity, courage, and duty. Your experiences in defense not only offer remarkable insights into nation building, but also exemplify the essence of holistic development that we aim to explore throughout the seminar. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our esteemed faculty members whose wisdom and mentorship nurture the minds of the next generation. Dear students, I urge you to reflect deeply on the words of Mahatma Gandhi. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. The journey you are on is not just about acquiring skills to succeed in the business world, but also becoming leaders who inspire change, encourage the ethical practices, and create an environment where values like empathy, respect, and responsibilities thrive. So this seminar provides an opportunity for you to expand your understanding of how these universal values can serve as the bedrock for holistic growth in your careers, in your relationships, and in your contributions to the society at large. So as we move through today's discussions and reflections, I encourage everyone to not only listen but also engage. Let us think critically about how values such as discipline, respect for diversity, and a strong sense of purpose can shape not only our development as individuals, but also the progress of society as a whole. So, this holistic development is not just about achieving success in one area, it is about growing in mind, body, and spirit, and also understanding the interconnectedness of all aspects of our lives. So I hope that this seminar will serve as a catalyst for deeper reflection, fruitful conversations, and a renewal of commitment to integrating universal values into our everyday aspect of our work, studies, and lives. So once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all of you. May God bless each one of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And welcome to all the guests to Mangalve Institute of Management and Technology. Next, as a part of today's special event, we are thrilled to unveil the book titled Holistic Development Through the Lens of Human Universal Values, which explores the profound importance of holistic development and the role of universal values in shaping our modern lives. This book offers the insights into how we can foster growth both spiritually and professionally, achieving a harmonious balance between the inner peace and external success. So, while unveiling a book, so can we have a book? So while unveiling a book, I request all of the students, faculty members to have a huge round of applause. Thank you so much. Okay, so now it's a time to break the heat and call our first guest speaker of the day, Professor Brigadier Ramesh Chandra, sir. He is a distinguished academician and a retired brigadier with an extensive career in both military and the education sectors. With a strong background in the defense studies, he has contributed significantly to the strategic thought and leadership. Throughout his service in the Indian Army, Brigadier Ramesh Chandra sir held various key positions demonstrating the exceptional leadership, discipline, and strategic insight. Post-retirement, he transitioned into academia, where he has shared his knowledge over the military history, defense strategies, and national securities. His expertise and leadership quality continue to inspire students and professionals in this field. I request Ramesh sir to kindly take the stage and inspire us by your words, sir. So please.
वहाँ से स्विच ऑफ कर दिया गया था 50 का। एप्लीकेशन लगाया दोबारा हटा के लगाओ, एक बार हटा के लगाओ। ये गड़बड़ होती है। अपना लैपटॉप लगा हेलो TCSION होगा तुम्हें बता तो रखा क्या बात बता दी मैंने लिख लो इसे बता तो दिया था मैंने तुम्हें बताया था TCSION डालना हाँ इसमें क्या होगा ये कहा था हम अपना लैपटॉप लगा दे भैया उन पे तो हमारी कोई है नहीं आया तो था बात तो रहा है खेत हटा रहा है वहाँ आ रहा है नहीं खेत कर रहा है लड़का हैं? गुरुजी बोल
बाहर ही खत्म कर दो खत्म इसको मत जगह आधार कार्ड ही है नंबर
हेलो, हम तो कह रहे हैं हमारे वाला लगा तो नहीं लगा तो क्या करेंगे, सपोर्ट नहीं करता ना तो लैपटॉप है नया चलने दो तो हमारा लैपटॉप में क्या इनकी पीपीटी में दिक्कत है क्या करना चाह रहे हैं व्यू सही नहीं आ रहा क्या हेलो क्या है हाँ तो वहाँ ऑप्शन पे जाओ ना व्यू व्यू पे जाओ उसमें हटाओ उधर नहीं ये लास्ट वाले ऑप्शन पे 3 डॉट आ रहे हैं इस पे देखो ना क्या क्या ऑप्शन है स्क्रीन पे जाओ यहाँ स्क्रीन पे क्या ऑप्शन आ रहा है हाइड प्रेजेंटेशन क्यों करो ना ये तो प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं आ रहा जो है ना आप पीपीटी पे चला लेंगे तो यार हमारा लैपटॉप लोग तो बोलो थोड़ी लाइट प्रोजेक्टर पे तो सही आ रहा है ना अपना कनेक्ट तो हो रहा है ना
Okay, so till the time we are having a small technical glitch, let me call upon a stage Air Vice Marshal Vipin Chandra Pant sir. Air Vice Marshal Vipin Chandra Pant sir is an eminent academic and retired brigadier with a rich history of military service and contribution to education. A specialist in defense and strategic studies, he has held prominent roles in the Indian Army and has been the forefront in shaping the defense policies. After retiring from the active service, Brigadier Vipin Chandra Pant turned his teaching, imparting his knowledge on the military strategy, security studies, and leadership. His distinguished service and academic contribution has made him revered figure in both military and educational circles. I request Air Vice Marshal Vipin sir to kindly take the stage and inspire by his words. So, please.
Morning, everyone. Well, I thought Brigadier Saab would speak before me, and all that would be left for me would be just to thank the organizers for having given me the honor and the privilege of coming here. It is indeed a real honor to share the stage with a person like Brigadier Saab, who has had such a vast experience in the field of education, and of course with all of you who have had such a long experience career as educators. And of course, it is a special privilege to address young guys like you who have got so much of future ahead of you. Having done the Thanksgiving, let me begin with complimenting the team of others who have come up with this wonderful book, which covers the entire range of issues of universal values and holistic development in such a comprehensive manner, giving the need for such a education, which of course Brigadier Saab would also cover. And then, the various aspects of it, what are the problems in doing this thing, what kind of value it will provide to our own lives in leading a holistic kind of a life. And of course, what are the policies required to implement such an education in our institutions? What are the problems ahead? What is their plan of action? And of course, what sort of role the faculty can play as role models in shaping the future of the young generation. Coming to the two key issues of the universal values which have been mentioned as topic of this particular book, and the holistic development. The values as such, universal values basically relate to the human values only, because the animals have basic natural instincts of survival, looking for food and protecting their young ones. Okay. The only value the wild animals have is not to kill when their stomachs are full. So all these universal values are basic values which are basic to our nature. So what is the problem? Where is the need to have such a workshop and go ahead with developing a plan of action to inculcate, to instill these values in our lives? So the entire range of issues will be dealt with in this subsequent seminar which follows this initial ceremony, wherein each of the chapters of this book is going to be covered by the detailed students or student groups. So you will have enough of this particular theory. All I am here for is to tell you a few stories, which are some from my personal life and some of which I have come across in my readings of various books and subjects. There is one book which I would recommend is that Conversations with God with Neil Walsh, in which this guy is quite a troubled guy in his life, and one day he gets his inspiration or whichever way that God wants to talk to him, and then he has come up with 4 volumes on his conversations with God on issues ranging from personal to the global issues. So in this, the God tells him that basically I reside in your eyes, in the human eyes as love, and compassion as compassion in your hearts. So having said this, and if you look at it, if you examine this particular statement rather deeply, we have heard a lot of songs, lot of sayings about, love at first sight, नजरें मिली तो प्यार हो गया. In fact, if we ever see a really hungry and a very poor person, we tend to look away from his eyes, because if we were to look deeply into his eyes, our natural instinct would be to come up with some sort of a help for that fellow to really improve his situation. So, having said that if that is our basic nature, then what is the issue? Why are we having blockages within us in not to be empathetic, in not to be in the inculcating various virtues that are going to be talked about in this seminar? Where is the issue? So that is what I am going to tell you through various kind of stories. I have a little different take on this holistic development, apart from going through only through the lens of this lens of the what is it? Universal values. I would rather advise you to look at the a little. It is inclusive of this, but a little differently. I would like you to inculcate hope in your lives. And by hope, I mean I'm using it as an acronym. H stands for health, and O stands for optimism, P stands for uh, purposeful, and E stands for enlightenment. Enlightenment. So I would like to elaborate a little on each one of these aspects. Health, both physical as well as mental health, is the cornerstone of our lives. Only if we are very healthy, both physically and mentally, we can contribute positively to personal, social, and global issues. That is the basic thing required for us to lead a holistic life. Health, regarding physical health is concerned, we all know what to eat for our good health, how much to exercise, and do various things in our lives. But here, I would like you to look at our own nature as to why we are not able to implement these things. Uh, Madam, if you don't look at the mobile, I will not be distracted. Thank you. So, if you look at ourselves, you will find that we are, all of us, are a kind of a split personality. You know how? Because there is one rational side to us, and there is another side which is an emotional side. The rational side is like a mahout on an elephant, and the emotional side is like the elephant. So we have both these aspects in ourselves. So mahout knows how to think rationally, how to plan, and how to lay the path ahead. So it can do the planning. But on the other hand, we have the elephant, which is a 6 ton heavy animal. So that fellow has got tremendous strength, but he is a little moody, he is lethargic, and also he is prone to instant gratification. So therefore, how to deal with this sort of a situation? If the mahout and the elephant are in sync, if the elephant is well trained and he is motivated, then his strength is an asset to us. But if both fellows are in disagreement, then the mahout is got very little strength to really manipulate the elephant. So what do we do really? The elephant, on the other hand, has got some tremendous strength also. If it is properly trained and motivated, it can do wonders for us. If you look at the example of a soldier who is motivated by the ijjat of his regiment, and so he can go to any extent driven by that emotion to really lay down his life even for the cause. So therefore, we have to really see that how do you train and motivate this elephant. Supposing you have decided that okay, I have been getting a little unfit, so what I must do is I must get up in the morning and then go do some yoga or go for a run or do some exercise. But what happens in the morning? In the morning, that is your how your rational being telling you in the evening. So you set up an alarm clock for a certain hour in the morning. So in the morning, what happens? In the morning, you are cozily inside in your bed with a blanket over you, and it will be chilly outside. So the elephant takes over. Yeah, you tend to hit the snooze button, another 10 minutes, another snooze button, another 10 minutes, and then after some time you decide, चलो छोड़ो यार कल चले जाएंगे. So this is what it happens. To overcome this sort of a situation, there is an example quoted in a book in which there is a lady MIT student in US who designed a contraption, an instrument called Clocky. Clocky was an alarm clock, but it was an alarm clock on the wheels. Okay. So what would happen is that when the alarm goes off in the morning, so the clocky would roll off from its nightstand and go and settle under a table or under the bed or somewhere. So the person has to really get up. He can't really hit the snooze button. So he has to come, and because he's making hell of a lot of racket noise, so therefore it has to get up, and when it gets up, it has to switch on the light and it has to locate the clock to switch it off. So in the by that time, his rational being takes over, and he can get over that elephant's propensity. So you do it for 3, 4, 5 days, and then you get into the habit. The circadian clock takes over, and then after about a week or so, it is not difficult for you to get up in the morning and go for exercise and other things. So this is how you have to really train your elephant and motivate him to do things. And once you start doing exercises, then you feel better. So now there is enough motivation for you to carry on. The other aspect of mental health is the one that we are so much, involved in our professional excellence, in our pursuit of career prospects and all that, that our development becomes a little lopsided. And that is what causes blockades, wherein our own basic nature of being helpful and positive towards others gets blocked. So, what do we really do about it? So, here I will tell you a story about. One of my friends, he told me this story. He used to conduct workshops, soft skill workshops in various institutions. And he conducted one such workshop in a company called Breaks India, located in Sonipat. So after having conducted that workshop, primary purpose of that workshop was to really reduce wastage. They had a wastage of about 7%. They wanted to reduce this wastage. So they tried various methods. So finally they tried to go in for this soft skills workshop. So this guy went and conducted that soft skill workshop. He talked of empathy, selfless acts, and building relationships and emotional intelligence. All that stuff was taught to them. And he also told them certain techniques how to inculcate these things in their own lives. And then he, as a matter of general practice, used to go after 2, 3 months and revisit those institutions to see whether the training or the workshop that he conducted did it have any impact. So in terms of impact, those factory top officials really told him that it has brought a significant impact in the working culture of their employees, and their wastage rate has dropped from 7% to 3%, and which of course gets converted into crores of rupees annually. But then the best thing that happened was he met one of the top executives of that institution who narrated this particular story to him. He said, "Sir, after I have a mother, widowed mother, who stays in the same locality in my parental house. I stay separately with my family. She is old and she has been telling me that कि बेटा मुझे जो है ना अभी मेरी उम्र हो गई है मुझे जो है थोड़ा pilgrimage पे मुझे कोई 2, 4 जगह ले जा. I do not know when will I leave this thing." So this guy always used to tell her that, "Ma, you do not know how busy I am, how stressed I am. There is so many challenges. For several years, I have not taken even a week's leave. Even if I were to take leave, I would rather go to some cozy location where I could get relaxed and all that. There is a time for me for these things." But then he says, after attending your workshop, what I did was I really reflected upon this particular fact. And then I took 15 days leave and I took my mother to all those places wherever she wanted to visit. And then he said, during that visit, through the eyes of my mother, I could see those blessings pouring out towards me. And I felt so great after that experience of 2 weeks that it was sort of a catharsis for me. I could feel that from inside, all my blockages have been washed away and I was a different man. And the same thing, he says, was perceived by my colleagues, my team members, who could see that I was a different man after that 15 days leave. And the team dynamics changed, and I could do much better in my work, and it was a great experience for me. So this is what gentleman empathy does to you. Actually, when you hear more about all these values from DSR and when you go through those things, actually the biggest beneficiary of getting to know these and instilling them in our lives is us only, because and this also will not come to you because of your studies, your lectures or anything. This will come to you only through experiential learning. Try to do these things, in your lives, and the kind of effect you examine how it happens within you, and then you will know the value of these. So having dealt with this issue of health, mental health also, there are two more aspects. One aspect is that if you are a straightforward person, mansa vacha karmana, if you are thinking and whatever you speak, thinking, speech, and actions are aligned in one straight line, so you are a straightforward person. If you think something, you say something, and you act differently, it becomes a crooked line. You are a crooked person. Try to be a straightforward person. You will find that whatever you do, whatever you say, it goes like a straight arrow, and it meets its target. You try to be crooked, it will not be that effective. Let me tell you this. And an example of this particular thing, one story about this is one villager went to Gandhiji, and he told him, Gandhiji, you are such a great person, you are such a great leader. I have got a child here, ये मिठाई बहुत खाता है, इसका इसका मिठाई खाना थोड़ा कम करवा दीजिए. तो गांधी जी told him, भाई ऐसा है भैया, आप you come after 2 weeks. So this guy says, okay, he must be, thinking of some particular technique to how to, achieve the same. So this guy goes back, and then he comes back after 2 weeks. So Gandhi ji calls that boy. He says, "कि बेटा मिठाई मत खाना आगे से ज्यादा." So then villager asked him, "Is that all?" So Gandhi ji said, "Yeah, that's all." So then this guy got a little irritated. He says, "Gandhi ji, you have come from so many kilometers away, और कैसे मैं आया हूँ, पैदल आया हूँ, और घोड़ा गाड़ी से बैलगाड़ी से आया हूँ, and all that you had to say was कि बेटा मिठाई मत खाना." So you could have done the same thing that time. गांधी जी told him, देखो भाई ऐसा है कि 15 दिन पहले मेरे को मिठाई बहुत अच्छी लगती थी. I used to eat a lot of sweets. Now during the last 15 days, what I did was I curbed that craving of sweets within myself. And only when I have done it within myself, then I have got a right to tell him this. And only then this thing will be effective so far as this boy is concerned. So that is the power of aligning your thinking, action, and speech in a straight line. Another issue is that of selfless acts. All these things are going to reduce the amount of stress and anxiety in your system, which is basically required to live a happy and a wholesome life. Once, before retirement, I was staying in Papanagar, which is close to Delhi High Court. There, I used to go for a walk to Lodi Gardens. It was about 2.5 kilometers away. So one day I was coming back from there. It was around 8ish. So I saw a boy, a little perplexed and little anxious. So this boy, I asked him, "Beta, kya ho gaya?" So this chap had come from Mathura to appear in one of those competitive examinations, wherein through a soft pencil you have to maro that gola, kala kala karna padta hai usme. You guys must have done it at some stage in life. So this guy had not brought his pencil, and the pencil was not available with him. So, and the examination center was close by. That Madras school is there, MEA, Chameleon Society school is there in that Bharti Nagar next to the what is that market? Khan Market. Okay. So now in that area, if this guy was to go and somehow, even if he had the money, उसी इलाके में 9 बजे से पहले कोई दुकान नहीं खुलती है वहाँ पे. You don't get a Khan Market तो कब खुलती है, but then you go to Lodi Colony, any other place, 9 o'clock, 9:30, no shop will be open. So what happened was that I then, considered this thing. I could empathize with him fortunately, and then I took him home, and then I got a pencil from my own place and gave it to him. And of course, he was one of the beneficiaries, but the biggest beneficiary was my own self. That day, I had such a wonderful feeling in my heart that it is very difficult to describe it. Actually, if you do such a selfless at some time, you guys are young, you could go across to the nearest hospital and donate blood once in a while. It will come in handy for the needy. So that sort of a thing is going to give you a different kind of a feeling altogether. Just remember one thing. A housewife who gives sari to the housemaid on Diwali is it a selfless act? Is it a selfless act? It is not a selfless act because she is doing it with an expectation that ये मेरे लिए अच्छा काम करेगी. She will be more sincere in my work. So this kind of an act is not going to give you the kind of feeling which I am trying to describe. Okay, having said that, now let us go on to the optimistic part. The other aspect of HO, O is optimistic. Herein I'll tell you a story of about 1990s, wherein there was one chap, Jerry Sterling. He was detailed by, there was an organization called Save the Children. It was an international organization, Save the Children. So this guy was asked to go to Vietnam in the 1990s on the invitation of the government there. So when he went there, he got a rather chilly reception there. He did not know the local language. And the government told him, boss, you got 6 months to really do something about the malnutrition children here in this country. So this was an issue which required, poverty, removing people from the poverty, okay, sanitation, clean drinking water. All these issues, they are macro issues. They could not have been dealt with in 6 months' time by a person who has come from outside, who does not know the local language. So it is an overwhelming situation which is bound to lead to pessimism on the part of the person. But this guy, what he did was, he got together, he looked for some bright spots. After all, in this huge country, there must be some poor kids who would be healthy. So he got across some local mothers, made a team of them, and he told them to collect data from several villages around and to find out if there are health, any healthy kids for the poor families and what are they doing differently. So this data was collected and given to him. So in this data, he did find some healthy kids who were from poor families, and out of this, he eliminated those kids whose chacha, tau, whose uncle or somebody was in the government who could have subsidized them with some income from his own aspect to improve their position. So he eliminated those things, and then he went across and tried to see what is being done differently by those families of those kids who are little healthier despite being poor. So he found out that as a normal, the kids in those villages, Vietnamese villages, used to eat morning evening along with their parents. Okay. So in the case of healthy kids, he found that those kids and those that heavy meal with twice a day, those kids have their system is system is not able to digest it. So those healthy kids in the poor families, that they were being fed 4 times a day in smaller quantities. They were being fed by their mother. Okay, and even if they were sick, they were the mothers used to still insist on feeding them differently. So far as the stuff that they were eating was that generally the kids would eat that soft rice and all that. So these mothers of these kids were mixing a little bit of crab and the shrimps from the local ponds, little bit of it into their rice, and also some greens from the sweet potato plant. वो greens उसमें डाल देते थे. So this is the stuff which was being fed to them. So this is what was the different thing about those kids which were healthy. So he thought that why not try to replicate this particular thing. So he got across 10 members from various villages across and showed them what is being done in the families of these healthy kids. So this thing worked because it was not a solution which was not invented here. It was a local solution based on local wisdom, and those guys were, they said it is part of our own thing, So they readily took on to this particular solution, and the thing, went across several villages, and in the end, at the end of that 6 month period, there were, it was recorded that 2.2 million children were affected in 265 villages. So, gentlemen, being optimistic is to look for bright spot in any given situation. Though the situation may be tough, the setting may be tough, there are always some bright spots. If you try to, any amount of rationalizing, thinking, and it may not work. But if you look for some bright spot within the same situation, you may have reasons to be optimistic. And optimism leads to positive aspects in your life, and it is great to have it. I think spoken about optimism. Now I come to purposeful. Ma'am already spoke to you about purposefulness in life. Essentially, the criteria for purposefulness would be that does it have any activity that if you do your personal audit in your daily routine, there will be several activities. Some of them would give you instant gratification. Some of them would have, a long-term benefit to you. A purposeful activity would be one which would give you a long-term this thing. So we have to really see whether we are, are there any what you call video gaming, excessive social media, how much of time is being occupied by these activities in your life? Is it becoming an addiction with you? If you're watching IPL and you get a call from your mother that I have slipped and fallen, and she's calling you, and then you say, ki, Ma, I'll just come, take over, take ke aata hun. So that sort of a thing should not be happening. And finally, the thing about enlightenment. I am not here to preach you any spiritual lessons or give you any such thing. Enlightenment basically means dawning of light. If it is dark here, I won't be able to see who is sitting where and what is happening. In any place, you require light to really see. So, enlightenment means coming of light so that you can see your relationship vis-a-vis others, how your activities in an organization fit into the overall structure. So this is the enlightenment which I am talking about. And here there is a story about there is an organization in the early 70s. I read it in a book. It was the Department of Youth Services in US. So these guys, try to bring about some change in the juvenile justice system. So they thought of doing away with those juvenile prisons and all that. Instead, they wanted to do something differently. So they created and contacted some people, volunteered and NGOs, and where these boys could be accommodated in their local communities, and they could be counseled, they could be given some jobs and all that. So, and there was some budget earmarked for these NGOs. Of course, the budget was a shoestring budget. There was nothing, not much leeway since they were voluntary and non-profit organizations. But then, so what would happen is these boys would be taken to those kind of homes and other things, and then the expense bills submitted subsequently to the department. Now in the department, there was this one boss from the accounts department who was really a very great stickler for rules, and he would be very fussy about things. So whenever these expenses used to come, if there was a small little omission there and little something required to be filled because of which could be done at the office level itself, this guy would just reject those bills and send it back. And then these NGOs were really having great trouble in trying to meet the requirement. So they went and complained to requested the chairman or the vice chairman of the DU department to intervene. So those guys, argued with him, gave him several reasons, but this guy won't budge. He was known as Attila the Hun. So one day these guys decided कि भाई आप हमारे साथ चलो. They took this fellow Attila to the houses where these boys were, being looked after in whichever manner. Then this Attila could really see the kind of, as compared to the office, the kind of poor conditions these boys were living in. How those NGOs were managing these noisy kids and all, and the kind of that if you could realize, having seen that if those those bills are not cleared in time, what kind of impact it would have on the running of those NGOs there. That probably the kids will have to miss a meal or something. So having seen this, it dawned upon him, and he came back a changed man. And now he's hard taskmaster that he was driving his staff to clear those bills in time. Okay. So therefore, gentlemen, the moral of the story is that sometimes when we want to bring a change in our lives, thinking, analyzing, and acting is one aspect of it. But sometimes when we have to do things, seeing, feeling, and then changing is sometimes a more effective way to do things. That is all I have to say. I think, sir, हो गया ठीक? हाँ हाँ ठीक है. So finally, I must again thank you all, and I hope I really could impart some aspect to you guys. Okay. And again, I dedicate to everyone, all the faculty for having given me this opportunity. Okay. And finally, you will hear a lot of things about the various values and other things, but I want to leave this day after telling you one particular thing. They say in Hindi, "Ek sadhe, sab sadhe." Okay, you pick up one value and honestly take it on seriously. Because it is like pulling a carpet from one end. You realize the value of empathy. You try to having realized its value. Try to Shravan, Manan, or Nididhyasan. What you are doing now is Shravan, you are listening. After that, you got to mull over it. That is Manan. And Nididhyasan is when you having mulled over it and having found it valuable, you try to implement it in your life. That is Nididhyasan. So one particular aspect you implement in your life, you will find that rest of the value system will automatically get built into you. Thank you.
So there is a saying कि किसी एक की करने से क्या होता है, लेकिन एक की करने से जरूर फर्क पड़ता है. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Some of the learnings which we have taken today, being straightforward, keeping care of your mental health, selflessness, purposefulness, and optimism. Thank you for all that, sir. So now I request Professor Brigadier Ramesh Chandra sir to take the stage. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for the generous introduction. Let me see if I can do one way of it. I'm sorry for the technical fault. I was aware of this problem which has happened. My laptop is prepared on Windows 13. Your system everything is on Windows 7. This is incompatibility. This is not working the way I want it to work. I should be able to see my next slide, whereas you are seeing the previous slide. That is not working. I request the authority kindly upgrade yourself to Windows 13. Now, I cooperate even beyond Windows 13, then we are in 24. हेलो दोनों काम कर रहे हैं चलो बस फिर यही काफी है Some theme of my talk is human values and ethics in higher education. I may switch on to your mobile phone. I request you. So overview, some relevant quotations and introduction. Thereafter, I have divided my talk into two parts. The first part deals with human values. I'll try and explain to you what are values and why values are needed. What are human value system, importance of human values, fundamental characteristics of values, universal
तेज
human
करनी है
values,
कम करनी है
तेज करनी है गर्मी लग रही है core values are core values followed by higher management and institutions. In the second part, which I told you in workplace ethics, after little introduction of ethics and workplace ethics, 7 main principles of management, benefits of behaving ethically at workplace, codes of professional ethics in higher education institutions for university college students, then for teaching faculty, for administrative staff, for administrative authority. 10 golden rules for professional ethics and workplace, concluding remarks, and thereafter I'll entertain any questions and answers if you have. I have a large canvas to cover. It's more than my 45-minute speech, which I'm given only 45 minutes. In fact, some of the slides I'll be skipping. The whole system is prepared for 3 hours for some other institute. I have hidden many slides. Don't worry about it कि हमको आधी स्लाइडें दिखाई आधी some quotations. Values, ethics, and legacy. Apart from values and ethics which I have tried to live by, the legacy I would like to leave behind is a very simple one. That I have always stood up for what I consider to be the right thing, and I have tried to be as fair and equitable as I could be. Can you all hear me at the back? Mahatma Gandhi said, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your good ethics is good business. Non-cooperation with evil is as much a duty as is cooperation with the good. Albert Einstein said, try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. In order to lead a meaningful life, you need to cherish others, pay attention to human values, and try to cultivate inner peace. Dalai Lama. Every human action becomes dangerous when it is deprived of human feeling. When they are performed with feeling and respect for human values, all activities become constructive. Again,
पहले डबल आ रही थी उधर सिंगल होगी
two quotations by Satya Sai Baba. The first one, conflict and faction, violence and upheaval are caused by the neglect of human values in daily life. Human values should predominate in men's thought. Human life has no meaning without human values. Work ethics is an individual employee behavior noticeable by its anonymous. Henry D. Thoreau, who was an American essayist, poet, writer, practical philosopher, and natural scientist, had said, "What is right, even if no one is doing it. What is wrong, even if everyone is doing it." Reality of life. A keen student asked a worldly wise professor, "Tell me, sir, in which field could I make a great career?" The professor replied with a smile, "Imbibe good human values and be an ethical person. There is huge opportunity in this area and very little competition." Right. This you can take it as a beautiful quote. Introduction. Values are the guiding principles of our lives and formed on the basis of interests, choices, needs, desires, and preferences. Values are evident in thoughts, speech, and actions of every human being. Values are the type of beliefs that is centrally located within one's total belief system about how one ought or ought not to behave. Values carry a judgmental element, that is, they carry an individual idea as to what is right, good, or desirable. Human values take human elements into account and are virtues that guide us, give the effect of bonding, comforting, and reassuring. Human values, first part of my talk. What are values? That is the first thing. Values are defined as principles, fundamental convictions, ideals, standards of life stances which act as a general guide to our behavior or as a reference point in decision making or the evaluation of beliefs or actions. Human beings identify values and beliefs that influence a person's behavior. Persons are not motivated to support or validate the contrary beliefs of others, people will act congruent only with their important personal values. Why values are needed? When our actions and words are aligned with our values, life feels good and we feel content, confident, and satisfied. We need values in our lives to guide us in the right path. Learn the importance of certainty, goodness, and beauty. Give direction to life and bring joy. Learn satisfaction towards life. Attain peace in life. Develop character. Preserve our culture and heritage. Bring changes in behavior towards positive thoughts. Promote peace and harmony in the society. Human value system is composed of four parts of a tree. The four parts of a tree as shown here are the soil through which the tree has grown, the roots, the trunk, the branches and leaves. Now the function of each part. Human value system is composed of four parts as I said. The first part is soil. Soil forms the society. In our day-to-day life, we deal with society. From there, we learn values and virtues. Roots form the values and your attitude. Trunk forms the goals in your life. Branches and leaves are the manifestation of all the above three. We absorb concepts from the society around us and develop the roots which form the values. The effect of values are the goals and the effect of goals are the branches and leaves of the tree. If we develop a strong value system, we withstand the storm like a tree with the strong roots. Hence, it is essential for us to have healthy values and live by them. Importance of human values. The first important point is they provide understanding of the attitudes, motivation, and behavior. Second point, influence our perception of the world around us. Third, represent interpretation of right and wrong. Fourth, imply that some behavior or outcomes are preferred over others. And last one, provide a way to understand humans and organizations. Everybody with me so far? Universal human values. Universal human values are the ethical principles that transcend cultural, religious, and geographical boundaries, serving as the moral compass guiding human behavior. These values, shared by people of diverse backgrounds, promote harmony, empathy, and cooperation in our global society. Compassion, the cornerstone of universal values, encourages us to empathize with others, alleviating suffering and promoting kindness.
ये हट गया तब
Respect teaches us to honor the dignity and worth of every individual, regardless of their differences. Integrity demands honesty and truthfulness in our actions, fostering trust and accountability. Tolerance encourages us to accept diversity, valuing the richness it brings to our community. Responsibility reminds us of our duty to protect the environment, support our communities, and contribute positively to society. Justice ensures fairness and equity, striving to eliminate discrimination and inequality. By embracing universal human values, societies can overcome divisions and conflicts. These values are not imposed but emerge from our shared human experiences, reflecting the innate desire for peace and happiness. They transcend borders and belief systems, uniting us in our pursuit for a better world. Tolerance encourages compassion. In a time when the world faces complex challenges, universal human values offer a common ground for cooperation and progress. They remind us that despite our differences, we are all part of the same human family, bound by the universal principles of compassion, respect, integrity, tolerance, responsibility, and justice. Embracing these values can guide us towards a more compassionate and harmonious future for all. There is no definite list of universal human values. each scholar, each researcher, each thoughtful person has given his own different list. And one list doesn't agree with the other one. So that is the problem. Somebody has given some 15 universal values, another fellow has given 25, somewhere 20, 30. So 4, 5 authors views I have taken and compiled them just to share with you briefly what are the universal human values universally accepted. Examples are honesty, fairness. You all understand what is honesty, fairness, I need not explain. Respect, responsibility, caring. 6, citizenship. 7, loyalty. 8, trustworthiness. 9, adherence to the law. 10, doing good. 11, correction. 11, avoiding harm. 12, accountability. 13, love. Uh, truth, right conduct, peace, non-violence, sharing, solidarity, fairness, friendship, empathy, compassion, and brotherhood. Salient features of values. Values is an emotional attitude in a sense that it motivates a person directly or indirectly to act in the most desirable way preferred by him. Second, values are at the core of personality and are a powerful force affecting behavior. Third, values give direction and firmness to life and bring joy, satisfaction, and peace of life. Fourth, values regulate and guide human behavior and action in our day-to-day daily life. Fifth, values involve the process of thinking, knowing, and understanding the feeling and action. Principal human values. Out of those universal human values, there are certain principal human values. Instead of talking about ethics and values, we discuss only the principal values, which are 9 of them. Love and compassion is the first principal human value. Love manifests in sincere care of others, kindness, and empathy. True unconditional love leads to compassion for all. It may be seen in operation in human acts of generosity, mercy, and charity. Second, peace. When our minds are quiet, our emotions are in a state of balance, and our desires are kept under control, a feeling of peace and contentment fills our heart. Peace contains values like equality, humanity, optimism, patience, self-confidence, self-control, and self-esteem, etc. Its scope includes peace at the levels of individual, society, and the world. Third, truth. Truth is eternal and unchanging, as it deals with ultimate and unchanging reality. It is marked with values like accuracy, fairness, honesty, sincerity, justice, fearlessness, integrity, quest for knowledge, and determination, etc. In professional life, the simplest indication of truth is insincerity that can be seen in terms of commitment to work. Fourth, non-violence. Non-violence refers to restraint from consciously doing any harm through one's thought, speech, or action to any entity living or non-living. Non-violence demands self-restraint from hatred and nurturing love and compassion for all beings. Non-violence instills a sense of morality, equality, and respect for the rights of all human beings. Next is righteousness. Righteousness is the backbone of core human values as it involves conduct of life and action by practicing propriety and decorum at every stage. It covers ethical guidelines, ethical behavior, and moral values. Sixth, renunciation. Renunciation means त्याग की भावना. Renunciation connotes caring attitude towards all living beings without any selfish motive. It is seen in exactness as self-control and selflessness of a person. Seventh principal value is service. Service is an action performed out of love. It also stands for compassion and sacrifice for others. The value of service demands composure and equilibrium without any conditions or discrimination based on caste, creed, race, religion, and breed. The next principal human value, number 8, is peaceful coexistence. Peaceful coexistence describes cohesive and coherent relationships. It contains psychological and social values such as benevolence, compassion, consideration, morality, forgiveness, brotherhood, equality, perseverance, respect for others, and environmental awareness, etc. And the last one is discipline. Discipline indicates regulative values followed by the individual for all beings. It contains values like regulation, direction, and order, etc. Formation of values and value system. A main portion of the values we hold is established in our early years from our parents, from our teachers, from our friends, and others with whom you come across. Many of our early ideas of what is right or wrong were probably formulated from the views expressed by our parents. As we grew up and are exposed to other value systems, we change number of our values. Factors in value formation. First is value forming institutions. There are four major institutions in the society which provide basic source of values for persons and organizations, namely family, school, state, and religion. These institutions help an individual to know what is bad or good. Good behavior is rewarded and bad behavior is punished. This reoccurs in the daily routine of an individual and he learns a particular behavior which is rewarded and reinforced. Second is organizational value. Individuals work for 8 to 9 hours daily in an organization and get influenced by the organizational value. However, since various organization processes are defined by managers at comparatively higher levels, organization values are more in time with the values of these managers. Values vary from organization to organization and in multinational cultures are different. Youngsters have different values as compared to seniors. Individuals can be from organizations where the organizational values match their individual values. And in cases of mismatch, individuals either try to adjust themselves to the values of the organization or they leave the organization and find some other job. Next is peers and colleagues. Third point. Individual develops and applies beliefs, attitudes, and values derived from the group of peers and colleagues with whom he comes in direct contact and remains associated. Sometimes an individual wants to have the same style which his peer or colleague is better known for. Therefore, the individual tries to follow that group norm of behavior. Fourth one, work and career. Work consists of tasks or responsibilities associated with a particular job or position in an organization. In organization, this work is organized, directed, controlled, and entrusted to individuals willing to become employees through more or less permanent association with the organization. This gradually becomes his family career. Work and career create special values that give unity, cohesion, and meaning to persons, and therefore each work has its own values, and persons performing this work will have to follow these values. Fifth, professional codes. Professional codes are of three types. First, is the company's doctrine or philosophy, which usually covers these basic philosophies and behavior that governs the business. Second, a code of is also found in companies' operational policies which set up guides to action that have an ethical point. Third, certain professional bodies like All India Management Association, like Noida Management Association, All India Manufacturer Organization, IETE, Institute of Chartered Accountants and so on. They frame their own code of conduct for people who belong to various professions. These codes are in consonance with the existing customs, beliefs, social values, public laws, and generally desirable behavior. However, in the case of management codes, such sanction is not very effective because of lack of enforcement. Enforcement body and very few managers are voluntary members of such associations. Got this point? Like I am a member of All India Management Association as well as Noida Management Association. They have code of conduct. If I don't follow this code of conduct, personally, I am not bound to listen to it. It's my sweet will whether I follow them or not. I still continue to enjoy my membership with them. Okay? That's the point. That is very difficult to enforce because there is no enforcing authority with them. That's just an organization which we are members. Last 6 point is situational factor. People often change their ethics in response to unforeseen situational factors. An employee who has a threat of losing a job which he is holding since so many years may commit unethical acts just to save his job. This is situational factor. Situation demanded. Core values followed by higher education institutions. Values are to be learned through practice to form the foundation of strong human culture. Hence, the administrators and teaching faculty members in higher education institutions need to bear in mind that their peers and learners learn values from their conduct and behavior. Institutions having better human values flourish and get recognized. Following are the core values followed by higher education institutions. This you can take a picture, all of you. Important point. The first is quality and education and research any educational institution. Second point, striving for excellence. I need not explain all this, just that I'm explanation. Third, strong professional ethics. Fourth, student-centric academic environment. Fifth, social well-being and development. And last, respect for all. Respect for all. Right? I have seen many colleges board outside of the gate. Respect all, respect all. Right? Okay? Workplace ethics is my next part. Second part of my talk is workplace ethics. Two elementary things about ethics will try and learn it maybe at the slide. Hereafter, I come to ethics of students, teachers, administrative staff, and higher authorities of the body. Introduction. Human values and professional ethics are not interchangeable, but they are complementary to each other. Don't get confused. They are not interchangeable, they are complementary to each other. Second, whereas human values convey personal conviction, ethics describe the accepted principles and standards of conduct about moral duties and virtues as applied to an organization. Codes of professional ethics guide the stakeholder of an organization about the desirable and undesirable acts related to the profession. The underlying philosophy of having professional ethics is to make people follow a sound, uniform ethical conduct. The success of an institution's mission and vision is driven by value-based ethical behavior of its committed faculty members, staff, and students. What are ethics? The origin of the word ethics can be traced to the Greek word ethikos. It means human character, norms, ideals, or morals prevailing in a society or group. According to Webster Dictionary, the word ethic has been defined as the following two ways. First, the code of conduct governing an individual or a group. And the second way it is defined is the discipline dealing with good and bad and with moral duty and obligation. Ethics definition. Ethics may be defined as a set of moral principles about what human conduct ought to be. In other words, ethics specifies what is good or bad, fair or unfair, right or wrong. Definition of workplace ethics. Workplace ethics are nothing but the rules and procedures that should be carried out in a workplace by the employer and the employees to maintain a professional company culture and to build a better relationship with their customers by providing better services. Another definition of workplace ethics by a different author. It's a group of moral principles, standards of behavior, or set of values regarding proper conduct in the workplace. Seven main principles of ethical management. Ethical management is the practice of being honest and virtuous in a role as a manager. There are several responsibilities and obligations of an ethical manager, including setting a good example, holding everyone to the same standard, and making expectations clear. In order to do this, following seven main principles of ethical management need to be followed. First, respect for each employee. First principle of ethical management is respect for each employee. While it's difficult at times, it is important to make sure you treat each of your employees or team members with respect. Everyone you work with will have different religious and cultural beliefs and should be treated fairly. Second, mutual respect. Your role as a manager involves making sure that all your employees treat each other respectfully. While they don't all have to agree with each other, they should show proper respect for each other's ideas and opinions. A team that does not get along on a personal level will not work well together and will be less productive. Fourth, third, procedural fairness. You may not have control of the procedures your company expects you to follow, but you do have control over the procedure you can implement within your team. It is important to make sure the procedures you implement are fair to all of your employees, neither favoring nor neglecting anyone. Fourth, decision making transparency. It is incredibly important for you to make sure your employees understand why you make the decisions you do. If they realize that you are not making arbitrary choices based on personal beliefs, they will be more likely to accept your decisions and work together as a team. Fifth, standardization. The fifth principle of ethical management is that all rules and norms flowing from it should be equally applicable to all. In other words, standardization is the key. Favoritism and partiality should not be allowed. Additionally, care needs to be taken that anything that might appear as favoritism be expunged or thoroughly scrutinized before it is allowed to pass. The appearance of favoritism and double standard can be very invidious. One must not only be just, but also appear to be just. Sixth, workable. The sixth principle of ethical management is that rules and norms be workable and show tangible benefits. The effects of business ethics should be objectively available to all as stated policy statements. 7. Driven from the top. The last principle is that the top management commitment is important for the business ethics program. Ethical management has always to be top driven. Only when the top management demonstrates its commitment to business ethics, it is likely to work and succeed. Codes of professional ethics in higher education is This is one of my last part of the presentation. Under this category, we discuss the four and faculty, administrative staff, and the higher echelon. The first one, code of professional ethics for university of quality students. Students don't sleep, please wake up and listen to each and every point. With none of my thought and none of my hard work, you side of none of what has gone into it. Just to think, put myself in student shoes as to how this student should behave. Students of the University of which institutions are expected to devote their energy in learning and developing their personality. The student would, number one, abide by acts, statutes, ordinances, rules, policies, procedures of the university or the institution and respect its ideals, vision, mission, cultural practices, and the tradition. Second, the student would remain punctual, disciplined, and regular in attending class lectures, tutorials, and research. Third, the student would observe modesty in their overall appearance and behavior. Fourth, behave with dignity and courtesy with teachers, staff, and fellow students. Fifth, the student would act as role model for junior students by attaining the highest level of values and morality. Sixth, the student would maintain harmony among students belonging to different socio-economic communities, castes, religions, and regions. Seventh, the student would contribute towards cleanliness of the campus and its surroundings. Eighth, the student would show respect and care for the institutional property. Nine, the student would observe proper behavior while on educational tours, visits, or excursions. 10. The student would be honest in providing truthful information about all documents. 11. The student would maintain the highest standard of academic integrity while presenting one's own academic work. 12. The student will help faculty staff in maintaining learning environment conducive for all students. 13. The student will strive to keep campus ragging free. 14. The student would be sensitive to gender issues and not involved in sexual harassment. 15. The student will be sensitive to societal needs and development. And last one, 16. The students should maintain good health and refrain from any kind of intoxicant. So much so for the students. There may be two more. If you put in little more effort, that's what I can make out 15 points for you with my long experience and my knowledge of the subject. There can be many. Now I come to teaching faculty. Teaching faculty is
मैं लैपटॉप मैं स्विच करना पड़ा कौन बटन दबाया सीक्वेंस हो जाता है एक घंटा छोड़ दो
वाह वाले नोटिंग लाइट वाला
Teaching is a very noble and wise profession which tends to instill in students knowledge and value. Teaching faculty percepts and practices should reflect idealism, perfection, teaching faculty board number one. Perform duties in the form of teaching, tutorial, practical, seminar, research work entrusted by the university, the college or the institute with diligence, dedication, and punctuality. Second point, teaching faculty would contribute to professional growth through continuous research and presentations in conferences, seminars, and professional meetings. Third, the teaching faculty would cooperate and assist in the admission, in the examination, in supervision, in the invigilation, and evaluation process of the university. Four, the teaching faculty would cooperate in the formulation of policies of the University of the Institute by accepting various offices and discharge responsibilities which such offices may demand. Fifth point, the teaching faculty would abide by all acts, statutes, ordinances, rules, policies, procedures of the University of the Institute and respect its ideals, vision, mission, cultural practices and traditions. Sixth, the teaching faculty would adhere to responsible conduct and behavior expected of them by the society. Seven, the teaching faculty would create a conducive teaching learning environment through innovative practices and knowledge sharing. Eight, the teaching faculty would act as role model for their students by displaying good conduct and character. Nine, the teaching faculty would act as friends, philosophers, guides, and mentors of students in identifying their potential and encourage them to improve their personality and contribution to the community welfare, environment, and national education. Tenth, the teaching faculty would encourage students to actively participate in activities of national priorities. 11, the teaching faculty would respect the rights and dignity of the student in expressing his or her opinion. 12, the teaching faculty would refrain from harassment of students in any. 13, the teaching faculty would deal justly and impartially with students regardless of their religion, caste, and political, economic, social, and physical background. 14, the teaching faculty would refrain from taking any other employment and commitment, including private tuition and coaching classes, which are likely to interfere with their professional responsibility. 15, behave with dignity and courtesy with staff and other colleagues. So much so far. Right. Now we come to administrators. Administrative staff may not be sitting here, but there is a lot of administrative staff in your campus. Campus has grown. I'm surprised to see the campus today, how big it is from outside. It looks very small. It's a very big campus and a lot of administrative staff, maybe hundreds, maybe if for them I will say 2 points. Administrative staff would number one, carry out official decisions and policies faithfully and impartially, seeking to attain the highest possible standard of performance. Second, administrative staff would encourage the staff to maximize their efficiency. Third, create conditions that inspire teamwork. Fourth, act timely to redress the genuine grievances. Fifth, maintain confidentiality of the record and other sensitive matters. Six, cooperate and form strong liaison with the police. 7, show care for the institution's property. 8, facilitate congenial environment. 9, refrain from any form of discrimination. 10, not accept bribes or indulge in any corrupt practice. 11, make every effort to complete the assigned work in a time-bound manner. So much so for the administrative. The last one is Code of Professional Ethics for Administrative Authority of Higher Education. First, we'll see which are these higher administrative authorities. Administrative authority of a higher education institution would include Director of Public Principal, Dean of Academic Affairs, Dean of Student Affairs, Registrar, Deans of various faculties, Finance and HR officers, heads of the nodal officers of various departments, cells, programs, and academic statutory bodies, etc. The authority would, number one, be responsible to observe the provisions of acts, statutes, ordinances, and regulations of the institute are strictly adhered to in all its services. Second, The authority would comply with laws, rules and regulations of the government applicable to the institute. Third, the authority would provide inspirational and motivational value-based academic and executive leadership through policy formation, operational management, optimization of human resources and concern for environment and sustainability. Fourth, the administrative authority follow the highest degree of ethics in its decision-making in the best interest of the institute. Fifth, the administrative authority will strive for creating an environment conducive for teaching, learning, research, and development according to the maximum potential of the institute in order to bring the social change and national development. Sixth, the administrative authority would follow objective and policies of the institute and contribute constructively to achieve its mission and vision. Seventh, maintain confidentiality of the records and other sensitive matters. Eighth, ensure to promote work culture and ethics that bring about quality, professionalism, and satisfaction. Nine, refrain from any misappropriation of financial and other resources. So much so for higher administrative authority. Now, the last two slides are left. First one is benefits of behaving ethically at the workplace. Having work ethics in place and judicially practicing the same provide an organization following benefits. Number four, increase in employee motivation, morale, and pride. Number two, decrease in undesirable or questionable behavior of organizational members. Third, stimulate and legitimize ethical dialogue within the organization. Fourth, guide how to make right decisions. Fifth, avoid penal ethics. Sixth, build trust within and outside the organization. Seven, improvement in the organization competitive power and position in the market. Eight, increase in the manager's conduct, courage and confidence. Nine, improvement in man management relationship in the organization. 10, improvement in relationship between customers in the organization. Together, these benefits can make a profound and positive impact on the organization culture, which in turn influences the organization performance. 10 golden rules to professional ethics at work. 10 golden rules, they are all on the slide. Yes, we'll see one by one. This is complete slide in one go. Photographers and highlighted. Always strive for excellence. Second, be trustworthy. Three, be courteous and respectful. Four, be honest, open and transparent. Fifth, be competent and improve continuously. Six, always be on table and act with integrity. Seven, be respectful of eight, practice the example. Nine, be accountable. 10, be Right. With this, I come to the end of my talk. Now, the last slide concluding remarks. I want to read and make you read each and every word. In one sentence, I have given the complete conclusion. I have taken more than 30 minutes just to write one sentence. Just make use of my hard work. This is the conclusion. Possession of human values and professional ethics is most effective. Cooperation and support makes one commanding, effective and accountability. Helps in teamwork, leadership, and decision making. Brings encouragement, motivation, improves one's social adaptability. Provides improves relationships. Makes one
सब घूम के बैठे हैं इस पढ़ाने पे को फायदा ऐसे बोलने से मतलब बच्चे को समझ में आए ऐसी चीज तो बोलो उनके सर पे सजा रही होगी आधे
With this, we come to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.
No.
In fact, I don't feel satisfied with the science execution. My presentation was 4.5 hours, not 45 minutes. Of the things I wanted to share with my students, I am not going to be able to share. Like this year, there are some doubts. There will be doubts about so many things I haven't covered. How I think are formed. So family from here, from media, from this, so many things that I wanted to show you, I'm not going to show you, right? If there are no questions, no doubts, then thank you so much. Have a good day. Great. Thank you, man.
So be a man of values, have an ability of pronunciation, don't switch to unethical things based on situation. Thank you so much, sir. Your words were quite inspiring, and each one of us have learned a lot from you. A big round of applause, sir.
जैसे अगर थोड़ा नाम देगा तो
Now, moving ahead, we have Dr. Ajay Pratap Singh, IKC Director, who is a medical graduate with post-graduation and PhD in management. He is at present professor and IPC director in the Department of Management at Mangalme Institute of Management and Technology, Greater Noida. Approved by AICTE, affiliated with APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, he has also been associated with other colleges of GGSIT University for 13 years. He has been authored and published number of papers in reputed journals and conference proceedings. He has authored 5 books in the area of management. He has participated in more than 70 national and international conferences, workshops, and seminars. He has also conceptualized and convened conference and FDPs in the contemporary areas. He has been instrumental in devising system outcome-based technical learning process, evaluation, POCO mapping, attainment in the institute. He has delivered many workshops on teaching, learning, and POCO mapping. He is a lifetime member of National Institute at Personal Management and IPM member of editorial board and reputed journal. His specialization in human resource, especially in organizational behavior, industrial relation, labor laws, organizational change and development, leadership, strategic HRM, and business communication. Over to you, sir. Ajay, sir. Can we have a round of applause for Ajay, sir?
To Vishal, and a very good afternoon to distinguished guests, director, dean, HODs, and my dear students. The topic of today's seminar, as you are well aware, holistic development through the lens of universal values, or I would like to be more precise, universal human values. So the earlier two speakers have wonderfully elaborated the concept and prepared the platform for the entire day. Now, I would like to emphasize the second angle of the universal human values. So it becomes really very important to understand these three terminologies: the universal, human, and values. In order to understand that, of course, daily I'm your teacher also, you know me. I keep on taking the lecture, the PPT slides, all those things. So I think I am also having the 100 slides, but don't worry, I'm not going to show you more than 5, maximum 5. So the session will be more of the interactive nature. So I would like to hear from you the aspiration. What is the basic aspiration of yours? Anyone? What is the basic aspiration of yours? Or to put it in another manner, what is that thing which you really want always? Money, name, fame, respect, what? Money. Okay, so that means that you are going to be very happy, all the time happy, if you have the money, right? Then how is the basic aspiration? Because basic aspiration always lead to the happiness. Then what? Yes. Then what? being a good human being. Hasn't it hurt sometime, or many times? Okay, so very quickly, because I'm not going to take much of time. We all are putting a lot of efforts every time, right? Why we are putting this effort? Of course, to be something, isn't it? I want to be engineer, doctor, civil servant, IS, PCS, army officer. And that is why we are putting up so much of efforts. Right? Really, we want that. That is why we are putting so much of efforts. हमें एक डॉक्टर बनना है, इंजीनियर बनना है, मैनेजमेंट प्रोफेसर बनना है, प्रोफेशनल मैनेजर बनना है, इसलिए हम बन रहे हैं, या ये बन करके we want something else. Yes. Whether we really want to be, expect to be something, or more than that. More than that, because from there, when I will become a manager, a successful manager, so my parent will feel proud, or I will be having a lot of money, the big house, a good settled family, blah blah blah. Right? So we expect to go to get something, isn't it? Right? फिर ये भी हमें मिल जाता है तो why we are not happy? So again the question is whether we want this one finally. If no, then what else? Happy and prosperous. To be happy and prosperous. If I like sweets very much and I get the sweets, I get happy. Is that the happiness, or that is the sensory pleasure only for a particular period of time? Sensory pleasure, because my tongue is getting the taste what I am looking for, and once I got it's satisfied, no more happiness after 10 minutes. So is that kind of happiness we are looking for? No. I am looking for the happiness which is continuous in nature. So I'm looking for the continuity of the happiness and prosperous. And that is why the word universal is given. Universal means what? It is same for every person irrespective of caste, creed, demography, at all the places, in all the time. That is universal. And the only universality is that the continuity of happiness and prosperity. Isn't it? And then the middle word is the human. Human is what? It comprises of the self and the body. And most of our efforts are towards what? Fulfilling the need of the body, thinking that it is going to give us the happiness. If I have 5 shoes in my wardrobe, I bought the 6th one, I get happy. Because that is going to take care of my need of the body in the winter. But after a few months, or after 1 month or 2 days, I'm also looking for some happiness in the form of purchasing the new one. I am accumulating the various facilities. Why? In order to fulfill our need of the body. AC ले लो, शरीर को ठंडा मिलेगा. Do you really think that AC is going to give us the happiness? Because happiness is related to the self, not to the body. Body is happy only when it gets nourished, and the moment it got nourished, the more you are going to supply the things to the body, it is going to reject, maybe in any form. The disease also. So where we are putting a lot of efforts, putting the maximum effort to satisfy the needs of the body, and we are not talking about the self. So that is what the universal human values. Now coming to the values, please see this slide. Value. Value of an entity is its participation in the larger order. If I am holding this mic in this auditorium and talking to you, then what is the role of this mic? It is helping me to reach you out. Right? That is its value. So value is always in the larger order. And here we come again to our universal human values. What is our role in the self? This is what I was talking about, the self and the body. What is our role in the family? What is our role in the society? And what is our role in the nature? Because unless and until there is not a fulfilling role, there is not a harmony, you are not going to achieve our basic aspiration, that is happiness, continuity of happiness. And that is why it is universal in nature. It is not going to change. Everybody wants the continuity of happiness. Let me know if any single person is there who does not want this. Who does not want this continuity of happiness at a particular period of time, at a particular place, or with anyone? So that means the basic aspiration of each and everyone is same, and that contradicts the Darwin's theory, survival for the fittest, because there is competition in there. And moreover, we don't know what we want. We are working so much to become engineer, doctor, so and so forth, but we don't know why. What for? Okay, पैसा मिल जाएगा. We have to crack the G, or we have to crack the NEET. We have to get into the medical. And after that, why there are some suicides and all those things? Because actually they don't know what they are looking for. And that is why we say that the basic aspiration is same, so everyone is same. Everyone is same. So where the difference lies? It is in the competence. It is in the skill set. Okay. Which comes first? What or how? Which comes first? What? So are you really aware of what you want? Because all these technical institutes are giving you how? They are making you competent through various skill sets. So which type of skill sets are required? What comes first? How? I was talking about how ethically. There are always two ways to perform a task. But if you know what, accordingly you can apply how. Isn't it? No response. Okay. So, what I was talking about, it's a complete subject in your curriculum. Rather, now it is being changed from professional values and ethics to universal human values. So here, if you see the role of the human, we have with us our honorable chairman, sir, Dr. Atul Mangal, sir. Please have a round of applause for him.
So can we have a big round of applause for our chairman, sir? Thank you so much, sir. We are privileged to have you here.
Thank you, sir, for sparing your time. So, the role of the human being is a larger order. You have four levels: the individual level, the family level, the factor level, and the nature level. So, at the individual level, you need to find out that exactly what is your basic aspiration. Because if you are going to achieve your basic aspiration, that is going to give you the ultimate happiness. How fulfilling you are going to establish the relationship. What is my role in the society? You need to participate in the social system to the justice, peace and harmony. And in the nature, see, we all know only the human being which is taking and taking. Rest all other creatures, living beings are in the mutual fulfillment. If we are taking something, they are giving back something to the nature. So, if I am going to establish the fulfilling relationship with all these four, then I need to understand. I need to develop the right understanding with the self first, then have a fulfilling relationship in the family, and right use of the physical facility. Through that only we can have the achievement of the basic aspiration of the continuous happiness and prosperity. So with this, I will extend my thanks to all for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words. We are truly privileged to have you all here. Your presence was a great source of inspiration for all of us. Your expertise, leadership, and contribution in the respective field have been invaluable. Now, moving forward, as a token of gratitude, we would like to proceed with a memento distribution. These mementos are the small expression of our appreciation for the valuable contribution for our distinguished speakers. To do the honors, I request Dr. Atul Mangal, Chairman MGI, to come forward and present a memento to Air Vice Marshal Vipin Chandra Pansal. So please. Alongside all, I also request Dr. Richa Sharma HOD to please join on the stage. Mr. Piyush, coordinator UAP sir, to please join on the stage. I also request Dr. Divakar Chaudhary to kindly join the stage, being a coordinator. Now I request Dr. Ruchika Gupta, Director MIMG, to come forward and present memento to Professor Brigadier Ramesh Chandra sir. So please. I request you all please stand for a photograph. Thank you so much everyone for being on the stage. Now moving ahead, I would like to invite Dr. Richa Sharma, Associate Professor, Mangalmay Institute of Management and Technology, to deliver a vote of thanks and express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who have made this event a success. Let's warmly welcome Richa Sharma on the stage. She has been associated with various reputed colleges in NCR since her career commenced as a teacher. Currently, she is heading the Department of MBA at MIMT. She has gained an experience of more than 20 years in teaching management graduates and is best known for his teaching course in the field of marketing and research. She has written multiple books, research papers for reputed journals and conferences, and has been awarded with various awards for her role as a teacher and mentor. Will ma'am please all the stage? Richa.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon to everyone. Honorable Chairman, sir, respected guests of the day, Director ma'am, Director IQAC, faculty members, and dear students. Well, I'm here uh, to offer my gratitude to each and everyone over here who has been a source and a part of this program and have made it a real success. First and foremost, my heartfelt thanks to the management, of course, sir, for allowing us and guiding us, for your all the unwavering support that you offer us for conducting such events in the campus. Second, I'd like to thank the guests of the day, Air Vice Marshal Mr. Pant, who, through his simple and engaging stories, imparted value system, details about the value system to our audience. And I believe that few of them would have been inspired by them, sir. And you talked about selflessness, optimism, and being purposeful. And another guest we had with us today was Brigadier Mr. Ramesh Chandra, who gave us a deeper insight about the value system and its importance in higher education and also in our professional lives. And since we are all here for a professional course, I believe each one of us would have been benefited with the address of sir, and at least एक value system में से निकाल के हम अपने अंदर invite करें. This is all I hope from my side. I'm really thankful to you, sir. I hope, sir, these young managers will actually be doing some wonders after listening to you. Third, my thanks to Director Management, Dr. Ruchika Gupta ma'am, for your consistent guidance and making every event a great success. Thank you, ma'am, for your all-time support. I'll also thank Director IQAC, Dr. Rajat Pratap Singh, sir, for his words of wisdom and enlightening the students and being here, sir. Thank you so much. I also extend my gratitude to the organizers of the whole program, Mr. Piyush, the coordinator for this event, Dr. Diwakar, and all our team members for putting up all their efforts since so many days and making this event a successful one. Not to forget, we'll mention thanks to the IT team for all their support. Thank you so much, sir, out there. Last but not the least, MOC, Mr. Vishal, for such wonderful conduction. And thank you all the faculty members and students for being here and attending the event. Thank you to all. Thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now moving ahead, I request everyone to kindly stand in an honor of our national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Students can stay back here right now. Students have to be seated.